out at a big chain. We ate at KFC maybe once this entire time.
Yeah, that was like
after
the only
hospital
chain thing we've eaten.
And that was last week because we were tired and didn't want to make our own fucking food because we'd been in the hospital for fucking 7 hours.
Yeah.
And so we stopped to get food on the way home. And I think that's the only time we've eaten at a chain this entire time.
Yeah.
We've definitely, anytime we go out, we try to find something that's good and locally made, like Chicken and Mo.
Oh, so good.
That one day we were hungover after Thanksgiving.
Their fried chicken's phenomenal.
But that was the day Marty said, I wouldn't mind KFC or like Albertson's chicken.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go to Chicken and Mo.
I was like, bitch.
And they're like this tiny little hole in the wall place. And
the red beans and rice.
It's so good.
They're kind of like just the right amount of vinegar.
And just the right amount of salt.
And spice.
Ooh, it's like a smoker, like a tobacco smoker made it because they add almost too much salt.
It's there. It's right there. It's just enough to like... It's orgasmically salty.
Oh, it's so good. You get all the flavors and savors. I was so happy I went to their store and ordered their food.
So good.
And I'm never disappointed with Chicken and More. And I love that place. Like, same with Runes. We always go to Runes for good burgers. We have our places that we support.
Fucking love these places.
But I also make a lot of food at home.
Yeah.
I love to cook, and I don't necessarily love the cleanup, but I love cooking. And I know that you and I make really great food. We make solid-ass dishes at home.
Yeah, I'm happy with the food we eat. But, yeah, like supporting local is like... I'm a capitalist when it comes to that shit, too. Is like, the good things will survive.
Yeah.
I mean, not obviously these times are different, so everything's fucking different right now. But in general,
usually in a normal world,
when a restaurant opens in a normal world and their food sucks, people go, I don't like that place. And then you go, well, maybe I'll try it one more time. And then you go back and you're like, that shit was even worse.
It's not the food that sucks. Sometimes it's management that sucks. Sometimes it's
all the above.
Exactly. And if something is ran poor from the start, it's poor all throughout. There's...
Right, like that other burger place we went to. Another local gastropub. They,
Prohibition.
They changed management. Their management's fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I was so glad we went there right before the shutdown.
Oh, God.
It was right before it, or the second shutdown, not the first one. But we had gone there 2 times, and, right? It was 2? And 1 time, yeah, because I had gotten it at work.
3 times.
Is it 3 times? So 4 times for me, because I got it at work.
At work, yeah. We went there twice before old management.
Yeah.
The last time we went in person, there was like a curly dark hair in my food, like in my burger, and I was like, "It was
in my burger," and I gave it to you.
I was like, "This is gross," and I mentioned it to the waiter. I was like, "Hey, we're not those people. We're not gonna like make a big thing out of this. Just wanted to tell you there was like a curly dark fucking pube in this burger." Yeah. I didn't say that, but I said there's some little curly hair right there. And he's like, "Oh, really? Oh, I'm so sorry. Bye." And I was like, dude,
no drinks taken off, nothing.
At least like a genuine apology. And then the cook, cook comes out like, dude, hey, I'm so sorry. Here's some fries, or just
I didn't see any of those fucking old workers there.
What was disturbing about when I saw that curly thing is I saw the cook and he was like clean shaven. So I was like, that is straight up a pube. Gross.
Fair.
Anyways, no pubes on burgers. Don't want that. New management, no pubes. Love it.
And the new management, we had gotten there, and it was the night before the second shutdown.
Oh, that's what.
And we had shown up, and they were going to close at 8 o'clock. It was something like that. It was some weird time. It was on a Friday, and we got there.
We showed up like at 7:30.
Yeah, and he was like, "Sit down. You're fine." Like, we're about to close, but order your food. The kitchen is still open. And
then very nice of them.
And they sat again, I think like 5 more people after we came in.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then they cooked for them too. So I was just like, that right there makes me want to come back to you.
Yeah, their hours weren't.
And that was a delicious burger.
Like fucking COVID. This is one thing that pisses me off. Yeah. Is people's hours change constantly because they're not just by state level, but they're trying to figure out their own shit. And they're like, well, we can't afford to be open on Wednesday. So why don't we open on Tuesday, but we'll cut the hours in half. So we'll fucking open late. We'll close early, whatever.
Yeah.
So their fucking hours aren't posted on their websites. The hours aren't accurate on their fucking doors. So you walk in, you're like, are you open? What's going on? And these places, what's fucked is even pre-pandemic, these places were at social distancing capacity.
Yeah.
So it's like, can we just continue? Can these places that are safe, they're following protocol, can they just continue? Because they're not going to risk being overly packed, even if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And they're great.
Yeah. I think it's just
fucked.
A lot of it is just like, I understand that COVID is real. I understand that people die. I understand all of that. I get it. However, when I walk through Target and some person has their mask off their face and it's on their chin and they're just walking around touching things, what's the difference at that point? Yeah. What is the difference? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between a small business being open that already people don't come into enough when the world is running normal, but then, it's like, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, this is, okay, for the liberals out there, calm down. I'm going to say something really crazy right now, but you got to hear me out. This is the standpoint from gun owners, legal, law-abiding gun owners, is they have guns and they love their guns. And then when things come through on a state level, on a federal level, and they go, we're banning this, we're getting rid of this. And they go, well, that affects me. I'm not a criminal.
Yeah.
And criminals aren't buying their guns from Walmart. They're buying them from other criminals who smuggled them. Their guns are I heard a crazy thing that they're getting guns from crooked cops in LA. Yeah. I mean, you don't know where these fucking guns are coming from. They're not buying them at stores. So law-abiding citizens are the ones that are affected by this. Mm-hmm. Same thing with COVID. It's, the people fucking spreading the virus. It's not the fucking restaurants. They do whatever the fucking state tells them to do because they want to be open.
Well, that's a blanketed thing as well too, because
places they'll make it mandatory to wear masks.
Here's the thing, I won't say names, but FE, where we went to on St. Patty's Day,
oh yeah,
that place was packed to the brim on the chance that when they decided to open and they said, look, you guys can be open, but you have to be at 25% capacity. You can't have people shoulder to shoulder. The minute they were open, they were shoulder to shoulder. So that's
their management is just douchebaggery.
But that's
Idahans.
The shitty thing is that there's always a person to ruin it all for everyone.
Right.
It's the same thing when you're a kid and you're in class and the teacher says, if everyone's quiet for the next 5 minutes, you guys can go to recess early.
Yeah.
And then someone at minute 4.5 fucking yells or does something stupid and it ruins it for the entire class.
Yeah.
So that's also
the baby Karens.
I'm also on that side where I'm like, no one can fucking listen clearly. Mm-hmm. So everyone needs to be shut down. But I guess my standpoint is that at first I get it. No one knew what the fuck this was. No one knew the virus. No one understood what the hell was happening. There was tons of podcasts where people had talked about this virus that was going on in China. And then all of a sudden it came over here and it blew up.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I don't know if anyone that would have been president at that point would have done the right thing. I just think it should have been 100% across the board. Doesn't matter about your state. Doesn't matter about who's running you. The entire United States shuts down for 3 weeks and everyone's paid. And that's what it is. Like, I just don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there should have been some sort of formal shutdown. The government should have supplied things to come to your house. I don't care if it was a bag of rice, a bag of beans. You get toilet paper. No one's frenzying. No one's being exposed more than the other person.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting an allotment. And it's just across the board that way. Like, the government fucked us.
Yeah.
And it's not your...
Well, they also know that there's, no matter what, there's always going to be an outlier of people in Idaho that would go, nope, we're not doing that. We'll take our guns to the streets and we will fight this.
Well, and I think, but everyone's always going to take their guns to the street in some sort of matter.
Yeah, it's fun.
And guns, I'm saying in a figurative matter. If you have guns or you have opinions, you have thoughts, you have your own mind, people are going to go to the streets with that shit.
Yeah.
However, if you were to disperse that whole, what are they called? This is going to sound like a piece of shit if I try to explain.
Talking about martial law?
No. They're not the Army. They're not the Peace Corps.
Red Cross?
Not the Red Cross.
Wow.
God damn it. They are part of the Army. Coast Guard? No.
Oh, National Guard.
Thank you. Deploy the National Guard right at the get-go. No one's allowed to leave.
And you know what's? That's a good point, because National Guard, that's actually what they're here for.
Exactly.
They're for basically in-house bullshit.
And
so
also,
it's like if there's a terror attack, if there's
when
a
people
pandemic,
started freaking out at the beginning, maybe you should have put the one toilet paper each law into place.
Laws,
not law, but the rule, like, because it's not a fucking law, but it's a rule that every single place has now that says you can only buy one thing of toilet paper. So why was that not 100% put in place at the beginning? Like, why were people allowed to go hoard shit and be fucking weirdos? You can still go out and get food. You can still go out and get necessities. Just shit needs to be calm.
Well, Tom Green... I
just don't understand, like, why everything got so crazy.
Tom Green made a good point about the toilet paper thing. Like beans. Beans, for instance. Like, you can have hundreds and hundreds of pounds of beans on a shelf.
I get it. I understand why people were hoarding toilet paper.
No, it's not hoarding. You got to listen to the point.
They're hoarding. When you buy 7 packs of 17 rolls of toilet paper,
I understand that,
and you take them home, what the fuck are you going to do with that?
No, but his point was, all it took was 30 families all decided to buy toilet paper that day because they wanted to prep. Now the shelves are empty, even though they have plenty of toilet paper in the back. Toilet paper is a lot of air. So, like, one thing of toilet paper takes up, 4 cubic square feet or whatever. And that's just one item, where every other item could feed multiple families and it only takes up a few square inches. And basically, it's a volumes thing. So people saw that the racks were empty. Soon as it came up there, like, it's selling out. We got to buy toilet paper, and then it escalates. It's a domino effect, and then everyone's we don't have toilet paper. We need to buy toilet paper.
I get that, but it's also not just that. It's people going on social media and people saying there's a scarcity. People saying that there's an issue. People saying that there's all this shit happening. How about you shut the fuck up and get off your stupid goddamn platform? No one gives a fuck. I just want everyone to be healthy. I don't want to kill someone's grandmother, and I want someone's grandmother to matter. And I also want grandparents, like my own grandparents. I love them.
Yeah.
But they're fucking risky.
They need to be careful.
And
they're at risk.
They smoke. I know they have high blood pressure. I know that they have